the number 130.1,
Okay.
audit findings, A, budget and income. Then you go to reason for query, which is management response. Then you go to the action taken and the remedial measures that you have put in place.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the guidance. Paragraph 30, Kasenengwa Town Council. 30.1, audit findings. An examination of financial and other records.
You come down to budget and income, then you go to your response. You don't even read the table and things there.
Oh, okay.
So like you have read audit findings A, budget and income, then management response.
Okay, thank you so much. So A, that is budget and income. Reason for the query. The council did not collect 100% of the budgeted revenue due to various reasons. These are the following, Chair. Local taxes under collection of 892 kwacha. This covers 60 employees whose personal levy was not paid due to business reducing number of workers arising from the post-COVID effect and complete closure of some businesses. Fees and charges under collection of 244,923 kwacha. The council had anticipated to complete all the land registration, numbering, and offer of plots, but the process was still ongoing as at 2022. Licenses, 3,405 kwacha. Over collection was due to more guns being registered in the district, as the council had gun license books at the time when other surrounding councils did not have. Levies, under collection of 73,357 kwacha. The council under collected on levies due to vehicle breakdowns, lack of information within the community on the need to pay council dues. Permits, over collection of 5,337 kwacha. The council endeavors to continue sensitizing clients on the need for payment of business permits as more sole trader businesses open up in the district. National support, 130,006 kwacha, more than was budgeted, was received in the year as grant in lieu of rates. Other receipts, under collection of 23,079 kwacha. This vote is usual for unexpected revenue. New sources of revenue not previously identified are captured in this vote. Action taken, Chair. The council has collected 117,000 from application and interview fees for land that was offered in 2022. See Appendix 1. The council has introduced new collection points and engaged revenue agents. The council has increased sensitization and monitoring of the business community and is updating the database of the businesses for the purpose of enhancing collection of personal levy and other council dues. The council has repaired one motor vehicle exclusively attached to Revenue Office that is helping with revenue collection. And we've also attached a motorbike, a motorcycle. The remedial measure, Chair. In light of the unwillingness of the public to pay their dues, the council has intensified sensitization of the public on the need to pay dues in order for council to continue providing the much needed service in the district. The council has also continued updating the database to capture all new businesses in the district. B. Environmental management, failure to operate dump site. The Environmental Management Act number 12 of 2011 states that a local authority shall designate one or more waste disposal sites or waste collection sites within.
Read the query, go to management response.
Okay, thank you. Reason for the query: the council did not have a designated area for the dump site as at the time of audit. The application for land for the initial proposed dump site land was rejected by the traditional leaders in 2020. Consent for a new site was given in 2021. See Appendix 2A, 2B, and 2C. Action taken. The Council has secured the land and has prepared the local area plan, which has been beaconed, which includes the land for the dump site. Remedial measure. The Council is sensitizing the community and traditional leaders on managing domestic waste. B. Accounting for revenue. This query was not numbered, Chair, in the initial report.
Okay.
Reason for query. The Council had not collected revenue from 6 mobile booth operators because the operators lost business and had closed down. The booths have closed since 2020. Action taken. Management took the matter to the full Council for authority for the debt to be considered as bad debt and delist the 6 operators. Full Council approved the matter on minute number SPFHGPC/10/12/22. The mobile booth operators have failed to resume operation since 2020. Please see Appendix 3A and 3B. Remedial measure. The Council is sensitizing the business community through verbal communication on the need for payment plans in seasons where business is low. This is done to encourage full payment of Council dues. Management of assets. Lack of title deed. Reason for the query. Council properties were not on title. Chair, action taken by Kasenengwa Town Council. The Council has started the process of securing the title deeds for the various properties under minute number PWD ERNRC/64/02/22. The Council has since applied to Ministry of Lands for process of title deeds. Please see Appendix 4A, 4B, and 4C. Remedial measure. The Council is following up with the Ministry of Lands to expedite the processing of title deeds. 2. Failure to maintain properties. Reason for the query. The cited properties were not maintained at the time of audit. The council bar and 2 abandoned houses are being considered to have been demolished due to their unrepairable state. Action taken. The council has received a report on the status of the abandoned houses and is in the process of engaging Ministry of Works and Supply for evaluation report and authority for demolition, which will further be considered by full council. Please see Appendix 5. Remedial measure. The council is maintaining other properties not earmarked for demolition. 235,000 has been budgeted for in 2023 under building and maintenance. Management of constituency development funds. Reason for the query. The council has not collected other building materials for staff house at Mtengulen, which were paid for in advance, as the stage needed for the materials has not yet been reached. The project is still ongoing. The council does not have storage space and had asked the supplier to delay collection of materials until as and when needed. The advance payment was done to avoid changes in material prices. Action taken. The contractor is on site, and when all stages are reached, the materials shall be collected to complete the project. The project is currently at 70% completion at ring beam level. See Appendix 6. Remedial measure. The council now considers full contracts for all projects so that the contractor is responsible for collection and storage of materials. Delayed completion of a 1x2 classroom block at Mutachi Primary School. Reason for the query. The council delayed in completion of a 1x2 classroom block due to lack of community contribution of materials such as sand, stones, and molding of blocks. Action taken. The community contribution has since been mobilized and the project is currently being plastered and will be completed in the first quarter of 2023. Please see Appendix 7. Remedial measure. The Council now considers full contracts for all projects so that the contractor is responsible for collection and storage of materials. Delayed completion of a 1x3 classroom block at Mandondo Primary School. Chair, reason for the query was delayed completion of a 1x3 classroom block. Action taken. The Council wishes to report that the project had been approved for the 2022 funding amounting to 250,000 to complete the works. The contractor is currently on site and is proposed to have the project complete by 31st March 2023. Remedial measures. The Council will allocate funds for full contracts to avoid delays. Failure to operationalize a staff house at Shamombo Health Post. Reason for the query. Project was completed but has not yet been occupied due to lack of water facilities. Action taken. The Council has since drilled a borehole under the 2022 CDF funding. The completed project will be handed over to Health Office. Please see Appendix 8. Remedial measure. The Council will endeavor to include water and sanitation facilities for future building projects. I wish to submit, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary. Honorable members. Points of clarifications, questions? Yes, Vice Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think my interest is so much on my interest is so much on delayed completion of 1x2 classroom block at Mutachi Primary School.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. And I believe this is a CDF project, Madam. CDF project.
Yes, Chair.
I have some concerns, Chair. I would want the town clerk to clear, because when it's CDF project, what I know is that we do not get the community to do some donations. It's wholly done by the council. So I would like just some clarity on this, on the issue of the materials which were supposed to be procured. As you're aware, Chair, we are all members of Parliament. We know how we allocate funds for projects. Thank you, Chair.
Oh yeah, Honorable Simumba and Honorable Mtero.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. I will take you to page 4.
Page 4.
Yes, where the Council Secretary has stated to say the Council had not collected revenue from the 6 mobile booth operators because the operators lost business and had closed down. I would want to find out, did you provide that information to the auditors? Because this happened in 2020 and you are being audited in 2022. Why didn't you provide that information to the auditors if it's true that was you closed these both operators? I submit here.
Okay. Honorable Mtero.
Chair, thank you very much. Page 8 and 9 on Madodo. Chair, the initial contract sum total was 27,532. Chair, you go to page 9, that this same project has 137,872. Now, this same project has 250,000 kwacha. I would want, Chair, an explanation. This is what one contract has now 3 figures.
But,
The last,
yes.
it's on the last one. No, page 10. We have even now given the appendix. I would want them to go to the appendix 8 and show us where that borehole is. Because I've gone to the appendix 8. The borehole is not there. But they have told us, refer appendix 8. What was the reason? No water. Now solution has come, go to appendix 8. Chair, if we may have those clarifications.
Council Secretary.
Thank you so much, Chair, and thank you, honorable members. I'll begin by briefly giving a background to the reason why there was a delay in the completion of the 1x3 classroom block at Mandondo Primary. Initially, the council had approved completion of a 1x2 classroom at Mandondo, and that is what, those were the works that were completed. At the time of audit, there was also another approval to extend the classroom into a 1x3. So at the time of audit, in total, the auditors were looking.
Chair, that's there. See, as you are saying, the first was a 1x2.
Yeah.
Do
Yes,
you
Chair.
have that 1x2 in this document?
Go ahead.
I
yes.
wanted to explain that, sorry, Chair.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes,
We'll-
I wanted to
we'll
say
listen.
that the initial scope of the project was a 1x2.
Yes.
Yes. Then later,
Great.
an extension was given, so it became a 1x3 classroom block. So initially, the scope of works was a 1x2. So at the time of audit, Auditor General was considering a construction of a 1x3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Did you tell the auditor to say at the initial scope was 1x2, so that the auditor could have captured it to say the 27 was meant for what? 1x2. Neither have you now provided to say the first scope was for 1x2, because what we are saying is 1x3. Where is the 1x2?
Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Yes.
The Council Secretary can ask any of your members to help you.
Thank you, Chair. I'll ask the Director of Works.
Director of Works,
Yes.
please help.
Thank you, Chair. I think if we go to page 9,
Page nine.
the image the image there is showing 2 classroom blocks. That is the 1x2.
Okay. Okay, page
9.
It is
The
saying
image
page-
that is saying
page
that
8,
is there. Those are 2 classroom
Not
blocks.
page
it
8.
is showing what?
The 2 classroom blocks.
It's showing what?
It is showing the completed 1x2.
What have you written there? What are you seeing?
It is saying incomplete 1x3.
What are you telling us?
The image that is showing, those are 2 classroom blocks that have been completed so far.
So why didn't you separate them to say, here is a 1 by 2, and here is also a 1 by what? 3.
Sorry.
And it's under you, isn't it?
Honorable member, maybe can explain on page 8. Page 8, there is 1 by 2
And
there.
point of correction, a block is 1.
Yes.
The classrooms are 2 there.
So
So
that
when
one,
you say 2 classroom block, a block is 1, but divided into 2.
what's the explanation on page 8?
The image depicted on page 8 is in relation to the query on page 7 for Mtachi Primary School.
Touch Primary School?
Yes.
Page 8 through you, Chair.
Yes.
Delayed completion of what?
1 by 3 classroom block
Yes.
at Mandondo.
Yes.
Mm.
That's what we are talking of. Not Mtachi. Mtachi will come. Will come. So here, 1 by what? 3. Now you've gone to page 9. No wonder the Honorable is saying 1 by 3 classroom block. A classrooms, maybe with some office. Now you are telling us, check properly. We don't need to check properly. You should now give good evidence to say this is 1 by 2. Now it has turned into 1 by what?
3.
3. But that evidence is not there. You've
Just on this one, what can stop us thinking that you just went and photographed a long classroom block? Because you have written 1 by 3, so there must be 3 classrooms in that block. There are 2. So what can stop us from thinking that now you just went, got a classroom 1 by 2, you photograph, you put. What you write and what we see should correspond. Simple. It's like now there is your name, but we put an image of a woman.
All right. So, Director of Works and the Council Secretary, I think you have gotten what the concerns of the members, that according to the stages that you have given in your submission in terms of payments, even the images were supposed to come that way so that people are following. Because if you see the amount and then we only see 1 by 3, we don't see 1 by 2, then we ask why this amount. You can switch off your mic, Director of Works. Honorable members, yes.
Okay, yeah. CS. The purpose of a local council is basically to raise money, and that profit should benefit the community through service. Now here, I'm worried. You raise so little money, your targets are so low on revenue, and you fail to achieve them, very low. Local tax is 6,000 kwacha, and you only collected 5,000. Their fees charges 694, you only collected 400. You are even failing to meet very small targets. Are you the council which everything now, CDF, administration fee, everything? Because now councils, because of CDF and increased administration fee, they are just using that for everything. Your job is to collect revenue and in turn, offer what? Offer a service. And then the money you are given down here is so much getting from the government. The idea of the local council there for the local community was you collect taxes and offer a very good service to them. In turn, you would have made people pay. But you have, if I was to grade you really, you don't even, there's no need of this council to exist. So what is it that you have done now that you can tell us to improve your revenue collection? Where is the problem? Is it a question of duplication of receipts? We have heard of all these kind of stories. Or this council doesn't need to exist? Because really, your revenue base is very little. It's very little, and you are making it worse by failing to meet even the targets that you set for yourselves. So what is it that you have done, you can tell us, that can give hope that there will be a change in the collection of revenue in your council? Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Councillor
Chair.
Yes, please.
I may
go ahead.
respond?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chair and honorable members. Yes, we will admit that the collection performance was not good at this particular time. And Chair, if you may see from our report, we are just coming from a situation then post-COVID era. So that was one of the challenges that led to low collection. And there was a challenge also of transport, because our district is predominantly agriculture based, and it's a rural district. So as a council, the strategies now that we've put in place is that looking at the low performance at that particular time, we have repaired a vehicle that we have assigned exclusively for revenue collection. And additionally, because of the poor terrain, we have also assigned a motorcycle. So basically, that is what we have done in terms of improving mobility for collection efficiency. And most of the residents in Kasenengwa are just commencing in terms of developing businesses. Most of the businesses are predominantly sole traders. We do not have very big businesses in Kasenengwa. So as management, we have a strategy of going out in the field to sensitize even the sole traders to be able to begin to pay what is due to the councils. That is the strategy that we've put in place. And as I have explained, that most of the businesses are sole traders, that is why we have a challenge, because the personal levy is a tax that is collected from employees that are employed in these businesses. Thank you, Chair. I submit.
Thank you so much. Honorable Tembo.
Thank you.
See on that, these are not really strategies. And you are buying a vehicle when your local tax is 6,000. That's just one full tank, 2 full tanks this time. You know, you have an obligation to pay workers from the revenue that you collect. Offer service. I don't see how this can happen. You know, when it comes to a vehicle you can buy, a motorbike maybe makes a lot, but I wanted to see the strategy that you are employing to change, so that the face of this revenue can change. That's why you exist. So if you can't collect revenue, you shouldn't even exist in the first place. Because how do you offer the service then? You know? But your explanation is not adequate here. When you sit down with your members and you see that you have not done very well, you're supposed to sit down and come up with ideas. No? Strategies that you can tell us that give hope. But simply buying, for me, the vehicle you're buying will take all this money for fuel. Maybe even 1, 2, 3 months, you can't even run with the revenue that you're collecting. You know?
Okay. Honorable Tembo, before you answer, Honorable Tembo,
Okay.
so that you can combine the response.
Thank you, Chair. I'll take you to page 4 and page 5, where lack of title deeds, where you have indicated that you engaged the Minister of Land for the council to obtain the title deeds. My question to you is, what evidence do you have to show that you are engaging the Minister of Land? Thank you, Chair. I submit.
Thank you. Do you have the evidence? Please, you can respond. What was the question?
Thank you, Chair. Additionally, I wanted to just bring the members to our report that additionally, in terms of strategies for revenue collection, we have also recruited some more revenue collectors, revenue agents that are now helping us to mobilize and collect resources. That is the additional strategy that we have employed as management. Thank you. As regards the other question, there is a letter confirming our engagement with Ministry of Lands.
It's appendix what?
Appendix 4C.
4C.
Yes, from Ministry of Lands.
Okay. Then there was a question.
Yeah, so there was a first question here. Then I wanted the evidence on the boreholes on Appendix 8. Chair, what I'm
The
finding there is
evidence-
the graders, but
What's the question again, Ahmed?
the last submission on the staff house at a clinic, the challenge was water. Now they've said, no, we've done the work. Look at Appendix 8.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. For the evidence,
Yes.
I want to admit that we did not put a pictorial evidence, but what we provided is the budget allocation by CDF. And when we can look through...
I have, through you, Chair, the budget allocation is showing everything.
Yes.
What you've just admitted is what we want.
Okay. Yes, Chair, we did not attach the pictorial evidence.
You show a clinic like Works has shown us the 1x3. Those are the things we want. Which evidence are we now going to have to say, now the facility has what? Water. Are you able to varnish your committee with that evidence?
Yes, Chair, we are able to furnish the committee with that evidence.
Today?
The borehole has been drilled.
Today? Or you just go now and get a different one?
Director of Works, you can help out if...
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we're able to provide the evidence today.
All right.
How sure are we now going to be comfortable with that evidence after having seen your 1x3? Director of Works. Or you just tell now a staff, an officer, please, madam or sir, do this even nearby, and then you show to the committee here to say, now here is the evidence. Because we've already seen, How, give us comfort. We trust in you.
Thank you, Chair. We will indeed furnish the correct pictorial evidence to this committee. We will not deceive the committee by providing evidence of a borehole that was not drilled at the health post in question.
All right, we'll take your word. Take your word. But there was a question from Vice Chairperson. Remember you asked something, I didn't get the response.
Yes, Chair.
Didn't get the response.
I took them to page, the question was on delayed completion of a 1x2 classroom block at Mutachi Primary School. And I believe this was CDF project. Yes. In fact, I was just looking at the pan bricks that they were using. I thought CDF projects we use those blocks, not pan bricks. So now I just wanted to find out what really was the major problem. I heard explaining, but I feel I was not convinced. I just need clarity. Because CDF, we know how we normally allocate funds for the project to be completed within a stated time frame. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, that was our question. She's looking at the time frame, and to some extent, I think you procured other materials far away in advance. And at the end of the day, that project it started in 2020 and is not yet completed. And to some extent, you are saying the community did not bring the upfront materials or something like that. Why didn't you make sure that you have, just like you had the materials, why didn't you get the upfront materials from the community?
Yes, Chair.
Were you facing any challenge?
And the contractor is already on site, and then the materials shall now be brought. And I'm wondering as to what type of materials these are coming all the way from 2020. This is 2023. This is the Mtengolen. Mutachi. Okay. If it's Mutachi, I leave it. I'll come with Mtengolen.
Just a clarification on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chair.
Yes.
And honorable members for the question. In 2020, the council had approved funding, yes, for this project, but at the same time, there was also engagement of the community to provide upfront materials, because at that time, I'm sure we are all aware that CDF was only to the tune of 1.6 million.
Yeah.
So most of the project then were, I would say, the finances that were being allocated were quite minimal. Unlike now, where we have sufficient funding for most of the projects. And the Chair, in our submission, we have also further said that arising from the funds that are now being allocated for community projects under CDF, the Council no longer is asking the community for any upfront materials. Yes, Chair. That is the background to this development. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, can I interject there? Madam Town Clerk, you were talking to members of parliament who deal with CDF equally. There's equity when it comes to CDF. No one is given more than the other. And I'm one of the members of parliament who has built schools using 1.6. We're only given CDF in the previous sitting, from 2016 to 2017. The full CDFs which were given were just for, I think, 3, and then the other, no, for 2, and 1 was half. But if you come to Chiengi today, you see a lot of schools, maternity wings, not these cheap maternity wings, using CDF, same amount. So you cannot say, looking at the amounts, no. You're talking to people who've been handling this. So I think maybe you just tell us that maybe it was just your incapability of doing the right thing. Because here, like in Chiengi, I'll give you an example. We've never asked the community to contribute anything. And we've had projects done within a period that is scheduled for, with 1.6 million kwacha. So I think that will be misleading the nation. Maybe in Kasenengwa only, but in Chiengi, we've had 2 full 1.6 and 1 750 when it was 700 and something. So I think that would be quite misleading, Chair. I would like just to help on that. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Council Secretary, maybe make a clarification, just like she has put it. Maybe you procured a lot of projects and then a lot of them could just not be completed. And this is the reason as to why. Because if you had done one project, like maybe she's doing in their constituents, maybe they are doing the way some of us are doing. That time we had 700,000 and 1.6. We would say if you had 10 projects, we would choose maybe 2 or 3 that will complete. But if you choose, I know at times councillors would want to say, "No, in my ward, I want to do something," and all those things. So you end up having an completed project littered, around the constituency. Maybe this was the case with you there. Because yes, of course, previously there, we could ask, would say CDF will fund 25%, 75%. Then you ask the community to bring it 25%. But to some extent, we would just carry it over. But that is when you give, if you give sufficient resources to a project, if you allocate enough funds to a project, then you're able to run it yourself. So really, that's why she's saying how maybe it was a question where you have all the councillors, they want to have projects littered in their wards without completing them, because it has taken long. And I know down there you've said, for now you are giving full contracts to avoid such things. You have moved away from that. Director of Works.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Madam.
Yes, additionally, I wanted to admit that yes, in the past it was a problem, yes, to handle CDF projects, yes, because of insufficient funds. But like I've explained, we are moving away from a situation where a project is not adequately funded. Additionally, I would ask Director Works to also make a submission, Chair.
Director of Works, in summary.
Thank you, Chair. To echo the words of my Council Secretary, the projects in the manner which they were being funded, you have a situation where a good number of projects are funded, but maybe not enough to have a full completion of a project, with the heavy reliance on the community to bring the 25% upfront material, this being mostly aggregates. Some communities in their applications would indicate that they will provide these modded blocks, and this is why you find that they're being used at the 1x2 classroom block at Mtache.
Okay. All right. Honorable Mutero.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And Honorable Simumba.
As we are on the
Mutenguleni. Page what?
Page 7.
Page 6?
7, sir.
7.
Mutenguleni, we start a project 2020-130. We are now at ring beam. The materials will be brought. Money paid to supply